Wonder Woman number 51, Steve Orlando writing, and Laura Braga on the art. So we said we weren't going to read this, and the only reason I read this is because Twitter was praising the shit out of it. Twitter was talking about it as if it was one of the best issues of Wonder Woman ever written, and one of the best of Rebirth, and such a step up. And I felt like it was a disservice to the audience if at least one of us didn't check it out and just to see how it was. And it was a fine issue. Like, you know what? It's one of the best things I've read from Orlando, right? It absolutely is. I don't know if I'd praise it quite as high as Twitter's praising it, though. Like you know, like one of the best of Rebirth means that it's better than a lot of Ruckus run, and I don't think that's true. But this issue is about Wonder Woman. Remember the villain from the Sheriff Fontana arc, the one that shot Waller, Nightfly or something like her name was, I think. Basically, this is an issue where Wonder Woman goes to visit her in a prison that's in Antarctica, and she goes to visit her, and it says like visit number 1, and it's like, you know, basically the villain like, hey, piss off, I don't want to talk to you. Visit number 2, and the idea is that over the visit she kind of like winds her down and convinces her that, hey, you can be a better person. I am here because I want to be your friend and I want to help you, and I promised that I would come and help you, and it will. And it's funny because it started skipping numbers after a few, right? And it was like, oh, visit 23, blah blah. Blah. And about halfway through the issue, maybe even earlier than that, I went, this is going to end in visit 52, isn't it? That's going to be the 52nd visit at the end. Sure.
And did it?
It did. You damn real right it did. So, but
DC in a nutshell.
But it's a heartwarming enough story where it's hard breaking her down to the point where by the time we get to the end of the issue, like the villain has kind of changed their tune and she accepts that Wonder Woman respects her. She's not lying, because the first 10, 20 visits they have to take all the furniture out of the room because she keeps trying to kill Wonder Woman with her or the various things that are in there. So eventually she has nothing but like a mattress or whatever. And it's fine. Like it's a fine issue. And it's kind of heartwarming, and it's all about Wonder Woman like being there and being compassionate and trying to break through to the villain in a way that feels very Wonder Woman. You know, even though Superman might try to do that to a point, like the idea of Wonder Woman keep going back over and over again. In a weird way, it kind of neatly ties into the Silver Swan arc that Robinson did, where she didn't keep up with her after like the bad stuff happened.
Right.
And this was like her making up for that with someone else and try to be there for her to the point where, okay, because at the end of the issue or towards the end, it's Atomic Skull, which I thought was a bit weird because he's like a good guy in like Superwoman now and was still a good guy when he popped up in something else afterwards. But he tries to attack Wonder Woman and she doesn't really need any help, but you know, Nightfly or whatever her name is still jumps in and like defends her, and it's like, okay, we've come full circle, and that's that. And the art's not bad as well. It's got a decent style to it. It's very expressive. So you know, it was good. 51.
I saw a couple of panels on Twitter because, like you say, you know, people were praising it. So you know, maybe it's hinting at some stuff in the future because I think it starts cutting ahead to the future, right? So
it does, yeah.
There's one point where it's like a year from now, and she's in the UN, and then there's a bunch of different costumes.
There's there's a costume where she's got like you know, full pants on, and there's another costume where she's got like this ceremonial robe from the UN, and it's funny because I think it starts off being like, you know, X time ago, and then eventually it's like 2 years from now, 3 years from now. So right. I don't know if Orlando's run is going to be like jumping around all these time periods, or if it's actually like, you know, Wilson's like said, hey, I'm going to be doing this. Can you tease some of this? I don't know, you know, which way it's going with that. It might be Orlando's going to do like different, you know, each issue will be a different part of time, and he'll be doing this sort of opus of like all these Wonder Woman things all over the timeline. Maybe. I don't know. But if you picked it up, it was good and much better than, you know, anything that had Jason in it. And do you know what the funny thing is? There's not even like a mention of Jason. There's not a hint that she misses him. There's not a hint of anything.
I think it's funny that you said, oh, you know, it picks up, you know, with that villain that shot her in Fontana's stuff.
Yeah.
It's literally just ignored all the Robinson stuff.
It's like, funny.
Yep, forget about that. We're going back to Fontana.
It mentions it in the
last issue of Wonder Woman.
It mentions, you know, in the dialogue that happened, and then in the editor's note it says, last year all the way back in issue 28, and I'm like, man.
That was like a year ago though, because I remember it was around this time.
Because Fontana was on 26 to 30, and then 31 to 50 was Robinson. So
way too much.
I'm going to be reading Wonder Woman anyway when it ties into Justice League Dark, and then when Wilson's writing it,
That's what I
so
was gonna
it's
say.
like, you know, I might as well just get used to it now.
We'll start now.
Yeah. There's an argument for that.
But hey, but it was good. I can't, you know, it's up there with at least the stronger Supergirl stuff, arguably better. Not as good as the Josie Hauser issues, I'd say, but better than all the other stuff he did on his own.